Howdy ho there, I'm Red. Welcome to Wednesday's live stream. I think it's working this time. We were having some technical quandaries there for a minute. Sorry for everyone if it showed up a wee bit late. Anyway, how's everyone doing today? Hope you're enjoying your Wednesday. Hey there, Dream, Tony. Hey guys, so YouTube has said that, actually they just sent me an email saying that it is now showing in your view the live stream chat right in this area over here. Are you guys seeing the actual chat messages? Or maybe that will only show up in the recording. I'm not sure. Today's your day off. Well, if you ask my wife, I'm always off. At least by a micro or centimeter or two. Vegas Vince. Hey, another Vegas fan. Woohoo! It did last week, did it? Okay. Alright, well. Yay, YouTube, for finally doing something right. So how you all doing this week? Did all of you see the Hercules miter saw video on Monday? You know, I actually reached out to Harbor Freight to see if I could get them to send me a copy to evaluate, and I have not heard back from them. Not that I've ever heard from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight's never returned any of the Bears calls. Yeah, it's, I don't know, sometimes I see some YouTubers who say that they get sent stuff by Harbor Freight, but I guess they don't like the old bear. Yeah, you know, I got a lot of compliments on the Hercules shirts. If I could find a way to find a distributor who would produce like the bowling shirts kind of stuff, that'd be great. I wish I could find somebody who does that rather than just the t-shirts. So what did you guys think? Do you think any of you willing to spend, you know, $400? You know, and let's be real, it's going to be sub $300. I would actually imagine that you'd normally see it on sale for like $299. But I don't think we're gonna. I don't think there's going to be a compelling reason. There isn't any compelling reason on the other Hercules stuff. So I find it hard to believe that they're suddenly going to come out with one now. The best table saw under $600. Thomas was asking. So the best table saw under $200. If you want to go new, the best table saw under $200 that you can buy. Like, I would have to say it's the Delta one that Lowe's sells. And that usually sells for $550. You can get a 10% off coupon, and then if you use like gift card granny to buy, you can get that down to $400, or probably like usually around $430, $450. But without a doubt, it's the best new table saw for your average home user. It's got a 13.5 amp motor, which may seem a little light, but again, unless you're running on 220, you know, you're not going to see a big difference, you know, in anything higher than that. It's just going to be overkill at that point. Trust me, I've got a saw right now that says it's 3 horsepower, but unless you're running it on 220, you're only getting 1.5 out of it at the blade. Yeah, I was real happy with the, you know, we're back to the miter saw discussion. I was real happy with the the Harbor Freight, the 12-inch sliding miter saw, and I got rid of it in the move, and I got a 10-inch one specifically because for 2 reasons. I wanted to try out yet another tool from Harbor Freight so I could review it and tell you guys about it, and secondly because a lot of guys were really pushing saying, you don't need a 12-inch. You're going to get better cuts out of a 10-inch because you've got less flex in the blade. So you get more accurate, more square kind of cuts. And while that's true, often most 10-inch saws are not made to the same level as the 12-inch saws because they're cheaper. And I'll say that's really what I noticed with the 10-inch saw from Harbor Freight. Honestly, I think it's a piece of junk and I wouldn't buy it again. I even thought about giving it away, but I didn't want to give somebody this thing. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I'll probably just get another 12-inch saw unless I can get, you know, a different one in for review, but I'll probably just get another one of the Chicago Electric saws. As I said, I think the dirty rumor I heard was that they're phasing them out, though. I find it hard to believe, but it might be true. Yeah, you can find some great ones on Craigslist. You know, if you search around, I always recommend, you know, looking for quality used tools first. The only time I really go for Harbor Freight is for if I need something right now and I can't find it on Craigslist, or if it's, you know, something that just almost you never find, or something that's an oddity kind of thing. I'm always hesitant about, like, say, used air compressors. I don't know of many people who've bought used air compressors off of Craigslist and had good experiences with them. Because usually the reason a person's selling an air compressor is because theirs is acting up. You got the chop saw. Now, did you do the hack to put a resistor in there and change the speed on it? So I'm responding to James, who said he got the chop saw and he put a metal blade in it for cutting metal. What would you do with $70 in gift cards for Lowe's? That's all. I could always find $70. I'd probably buy a bunch of you know, materials. I'd get some wood and stuff for projects. If I already didn't have, you know, as far as tools, you know, I like the Irwin stuff, and Lowe's sells a lot of Irwin tools. Maybe get some new blades. Just run it videotape until it dies. HF digital torque attachment thoughts. I think it's a neat little tool. I wouldn't use it for anything that was critical. Believe it or not, a lot of stuff that has torque limits on it, they just want you to be in the ballpark. It's not, when you have metal flex and metal fatigue and stuff, things are going to change. And whether it's got, you know, 10 pounds or 11 pounds, it's not going to be that critical. A lot of people like to believe that it is, but the world in general just doesn't allow for stuff like that. It's got to have some sort of flex. So if you need something that's just generally accurate, I think the digital torque meter is a great tool to rely on in a lot of cases. If I was working on something that was precision engineering, I might go with something, you know, more expensive. But for, you know, that's what this show is for. This show is not for, you know, a machinist. This show is for the general guy around the house doing basic stuff in his house, on his car, you know, working on projects. And I think for most of us, 99%, that digital torque meter is fine. Wait, he said, no, I was asking if I could. Hold on here. Oh, can you put a metal... James was asking if you could put the metal blade on it. For cutting aluminum, you can, but no metal's harder than aluminum unless you're going to change the blade speed, which requires a hack of the electronics to slow the blade down. And there are videos on YouTube on how to do that. So I'm looking over here at the list. I got it over on this side for some reason. I need to move it just a second. It's giving me a crick in the neck. All right. A 90s Craftsman air compressor with rusted out storage tank. Generic replacement tanks. I would check on Craigslist, believe it or not. I see Dead air compressors or even just the tanks for sale on Craigslist quite often. Western Nebraska. Hey, we were in Western Nebraska last year. Went over to Scotts Bluff. Took the kids up there. They couldn't believe it. How did I do the deals on Brickseek? A little bird tells me, "Don't ask me to give up my secrets, man. That's the bear's trade there. You don't ask the magician how he does his tricks." Five horsepower, 230. Yeah, really. You know what you can also see is that's the air compressor, right? How did I find Brickseek? I'm trying to remember how I found Brickseek. Did my animation freeze up on me again? What's going on here? It's acting all wonky bunky on me. There we go. All right. I found Brickseek a couple years ago during Black Friday. I was searching for Black Friday deals, and somebody was commenting about Brickseek, so that's how I found them. And I've been using them ever since. Hey Pete, you're asking about if anybody can see the chat on screen. Some people said if you had it in landscape mode, if you're on your phone, then it shows up in landscape mode. Have I seen the Hercules 12-inch miter? I've not seen it in person. I've seen the box, but they didn't have one out. Yeah, the video on Monday was really just going over the math involved and basically their value proposition. It's not. I haven't actually seen anybody do a real review of the Hercules. I know that one guy, he did a walk around, but that was like going to a car dealer and walking around the car. He didn't actually show us, driving it to see how it actually ran or anything. The Harbor Freight $29 Sawzall. Well, pallets are nothing, man. That Sawzall will go through pallets like a hot knife through butter. I've had that Sawzall. In fact, I just bought my second one, and only because the other one's in storage and I can't find it right now. I've used, when I first did construction, my first real power tool was a Milwaukee Sawzall, and that was about 30 years ago, and I loved it. It's always been one of my favorite power tools, and I got to tell you, I think the Harbor Freight Sawzall, for the money, kicks butt, man. It's a great piece of machinery and if you wait for it goes on sale, it's about a third off of that. New Hampshire in the house, but it's chilly up there. Hey guys, gotta take a moment out. Sorry, gotta do the sales pitch. At the bottom there, it says Super Chat. So if you want to throw the bear a bone, you can donate directly to the channel, help support the channel through the old Super Chat there. Why's my Super Chat button not working? Everything just seems to be a little bit off today. Eastwood Automotive Tools. I've heard of them. Let me see if that's what I'm thinking of. Eastwood Tools. Yeah, I gotta be honest though, the Bear doesn't do a lot of more advanced auto stuff. I don't have the time. You need a whole separate kind of setup for that sort of thing. So I'm not a mechanic by any means. I can do the basic stuff. I can change my own alternator and change the oil and that kind of stuff. So I don't buy a lot of specialty automotive only kind of tools. Hey, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I love me some Fort Wayne. The nails, yeah, as long as you get a combo blade, with the Sawzall, it's all about the blade. In fact, I'm going to do a series of videos when I finally get around to it. I'm building a little rig that's going to hold the Sawzall in place, and then I'm going to test different blades from different manufacturers against it. But yeah, just get a combo blade, because nails they're tough, but they're small. So it's not like you're doing a lot of intensive cutting through them. Woohoo, David, with the $5, man. Showing them how it's done. You rock. That's the super chat I was just talking about, guys. Dave came through. That made my day. You guys are awesome. Best way to rebuild an old radial arm saw table and fence. I did a refurbishment on a Delta radial arm saw, and it was quite a bit of work. As far as the best way, I'll be honest, you know, I bought that because I thought I would use it. I'm not a big fan of the radial arm saw. I think I could get a lot more work done with a regular table saw. It's the members only channel. Yes, don't forget, it's members only. Let me see if I got my... No. Yeah, you can go on the page. None of my buttons are working. What did I do? I must have screwed something up. Woohoo! Whoa, holy cow, guys! Oh my gosh! Zhuzhang Shan, did I pronounce your name right? That's awesome. And Pete, $5. Packers fan likes the Bears. Want to see? You know what? I'll put the chat thing back up next time. YouTube told me that this was all going to get handled from now on, and I didn't have to do that. Where would you get a clear coating? You're talking about for a car? Hold on, I got to catch up with some of these. I have the ability to work outside in Iowa with 68-degree weather. It was snowing in California last night. I had to run down to LA, and on the way back ran into a snowstorm in the pass. You forget with the mountains, the change in elevation, how it can change the weather. It's weird. There was cactus with... in fact, just outside Death Valley, there was cactus with snow on it. Fort Bragg, huh? My brother-in-law is a Marine. So, I always support the armed forces. I think if I'd done anything, I would have gone Coast Guard. I was an Army brat myself, so I almost joined the military, but felt I'd already done my time. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up through the... Joe's saying he doesn't see the super chat. It should be right at the bottom where you type in your chat messages, right below it. There should be like a little dollar sign. And you click on that, and that's how you do the super chat. Yeah, a screwdriver air compressor would be nice. I want to get a 2-stage, or at least a real like belt-driven air compressor. I got to get the sound level down in my shop. You mentioned Andrew's asking about if I know when the DWS 780 goes on sale. I would say probably about once a quarter. They definitely do it around the holidays. They do it again for like 4th of July sale. I'm guessing either right here at the beginning of spring, you'll see a big power tool sale. And then again, probably also around Father's Day. A wood box, you talking about like a polyurethane? Like a poly spray on it? I always have probably 4 or 5 spray bottles of polyurethane in the shop. Usually I've got half of them are clear and half of them are satin coat. Yeah, Mark said, good water-based polyurethane. Sorry, I'll have to check. I don't have a tab. Excuse me, the bear's Choking on a cigar there. You're working on pallet wood. You know what? If you do a lot of stuff with pallet, you should check out Izzy. Oh, what's Izzy's channel? Izzy something. He's got a channel. He came up with a special tool specifically for breaking up pallet wood. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like a extended, what do you call it? Crowbar. And the random orbital sander, or can I stick with the angle grinder? I don't understand what that's in reference to. I mean, they're completely opposite tools. Woohoo! Jeremy Hammond, $4.99. Am I on sale for $4.99? I like that. That's it. That's the new rule. From now on, all super chats have to be completely bizarre denominations, like, you know, $1.03 or something. That's awesome. Thank you so much. You rock. And I see in your pic you got a little cub of your own, huh? Is he a new one? Tony from Philly, what's up? My recommendation on Orbital Sander brand. You know what? If you saw my video on the DeWalt, it's not the DeWalt. I don't think that there's a big deal when it comes to orbital sanders. And I think whatever you can get that's cheap, you know, the Harbor Freight one is fine. I have Black & Decker orbital sanders, and I love them. I'll tell you what, if you're in Vegas, I'd probably give you the DeWalt one I have. I'm so upset with that thing. Recommend ideal workbench size. That's a good question. Basically, I stand there. First of all, my theory on workbenches is Izzy Swan. Thank you, Izzy. Pointed out Izzy Swan. James Stewart with the $1.37. You rock, James. For the workbenches, there's 3 heights. If you're going to be doing anything that requires a lot of effort, a lot of force, you want the workbench down low. In that case, I would have it at like waist level. If you're going to be doing detail work, you either want to have it up high or where you can sit down. So I actually usually have like a desk in the corner for doing stuff like that, because that way I can sit down, I can really, you know, get focused on it, I can have good lighting and stuff. And for a regular workbench, I think I want to say it's like 38 inches is usually your average medium workbench height. You know what? I'm going to do a video here on building a workbench in the next month or so, so I'll have some more information on that up. Had a friend pick up the HF table for $79. You're talking about the workbench, the one with the light over the top, or the woodworking one with the vise on the side? Oh, to smooth the pallets once they're cut. I would get a belt sander. Usually, from what I've seen, most pallet wood's really rough, and with an orbital sander, you're going to be taking some time. So I would do a belt sander or a planer if you have it, and then go at it with an orbital. Smokey's kind of like the black sheep of the family. We don't talk about him. He sold out to the man. Michael, thanks for asking about the cub. He's doing awesome. He's doing great. He still gets his shots every week, but you know what? He's a real trooper. James saying now he's 8. That's great. Paul, did I see this before? Paul, $2. Woohoo! Paul just came through with the super chat, and TM Banker from Kentucky. You know, the bear used to live in Kentucky. I learned one of my greatest trades in Kentucky, as a matter of fact. Bosch is I will admit, Bosch does make an excellent orbital sander, and they make you pay for it. Yeah, I know about the whole plug nickel thing. Although I have a couple nickels now, thanks to the super chat guys. You guys are awesome, man. We got the best, you know, community around here. I always said that, you know, people ask me like, how many viewers are you hoping to get? I'm like, I don't care how many viewers I have, just as long as they're good and they, you know, it's a good community of people. Used it many times at desk. Like, yeah, and that's the thing the Bosch is best at is going back to Orbital sanders has great dust collection. Have you seen Harbor Freight Reviews channel? He only reviews Harbor Freight tools. Only 200 or so sub content. No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check it out. Kind of limiting, though, if you're only doing Harbor Freight stuff. Let's see here. Pegboard back. Use it for printing t-shirts. Alright, I must have missed the contact on that. Or content. Whatever. You know what I mean. I'm still brain dead from all the road tripping down to California and back. Oh. I never thought I'd spend so much time in Southern California. And if I did, I thought it would be in a better section. What does the bear know about making a kegerator out of a chest freezer? Dude, I know all there is to know about making a kegerator. And if the bear actually drank a whole lot of beer, I would do a video on it. But I've helped a couple people build multi-tap kegerators out of freezers. And but you know what? I don't think I can do any better than some of the videos on YouTube. But yeah, that's a great project if you have time to do it. Tractor Supply Top 10. You got that. You know what? We'll do that on Monday. Monday will be the Tractor Supply Top 10. I've been saying I'm going to do it. We'll do it. Super Chat wouldn't let you change the amount. That's all right, man. Any bit help, you know. If you donate to the channel, you can do anything you like as far as I'm concerned. What states haven't I lived in? I've been to 43 states, and I've lived in... Let's see, I can list them off. I've lived in Maryland, Iowa, Nebraska, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, California, Nevada. I've spent enough time in New Jersey and Arizona to actually technically claim to have lived there. Spent quite a lot of time in Florida, like spent a summer there. I think that's about it. Am I missing anything? Did I say Nebraska? Iowa, Nebraska. Most of the Midwest. I've never lived in Illinois, but I spent so much time in Illinois I felt like I did. It's one of the reasons I moved out west. I felt if I stayed in the Midwest any longer, I'd have to move to Chicago. Or brewing things other than whiskey. Why would you want to brew something other than whiskey? Oh, shoot. What happened? My face tracking. I'm locked. I'm frozen. Well, the face tracking, it'll come back when it comes back. There it is. See? Why would you want to brew anything? Actually, my other book is How to Make Beer. I know how to make beer because making beer is the first step to making whiskey. And that's what I keep trying to tell people who want to know how to distill. I'm like, you got to learn how to brew first because you don't make alcohol when you distill. You're just filtering it. The slight premium? He's asking about Yost Vices if they're worth the slight premium over the Harbor Freight stuff. You know, honestly, I think the Harbor Freight Vices are not good at all, and I would not recommend them to most people, only for light duty kind of stuff. I was in a pinch when I had to buy mine, and it was cheap enough that if it breaks, I won't cry too much about it. But they do not. The Harbor Freight Vices do not have a good reputation. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up. You guys are typing too fast. Hypertough tools from Wally World. I have not tried them. I've looked at them. I've not tried them. I might have to give them a try just so I can review how cheesy they are. Hey there, just bought the Starpoint socket from HF. Hope they're good. Yeah, they're pretty decent. You know, you got to remember stuff like that. That's a wearable item, and they will wear out. But it's not for the money. It's not bad. The 79 with the pegboard on the back. You know what? I'm not a fan of it because it's got too many little fiddly screws and stuff for it, but everyone who has one thinks they're great. So don't listen to me. I'm sure they're awesome because everyone who has one loves them. Snap-on had some K-graders. They were $5,000, right? Go Iowa. Yoo-hoo! Go Hawks. I know Dreams mentioned I made about 25 bucks in Super Chat today. As I said, I'm just amazed. You guys are awesome. I love doing this stuff and finding the deals and you know, finding the ones to avoid with you guys. And I hope we can keep doing it for a good long time. No one admits to living in Jersey. Yeah, my sister lived there for so long. She had one of those shirts because, you know, they had that law about you can't pump your own gas. She had a shirt that said, Jersey girls don't pump their own gas. Yeah, I don't want to move to Chicago. As they say, they got 2 seasons, winter and construction. Wisconsin. I mean, I love Wisconsin in the summer. Are the Cubs into any sports? Yeah, they're trying to get into hockey. They did some hockey last year. They grew up. They played soccer some. And we're into shooting sports as well, but we're getting them into hockey. They heard the tales of, you know, Papa Bear playing hockey when he was a Cub, and they've decided that's the way they want to go. So all 3 of them are going to start into hockey here shortly. The oldest already did 1 year, I should say. At least my mouth was still working. You can't stop the bear's mouth, you know. This mouth just keeps going and going. That's what all the negative comments I get about. Oh my gosh. You guys should hear the negative comments. I've got this one guy who used his account to just post the most heinous stuff. And then when I finally blocked him, he used his wife's account. I must have 20 of them. And it's the most hilarious stuff. I should read it to you. Is the cigar Cuban? No, I only use Dominican. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on here. Let me pull up my... They're all still in my filtered section. I don't try to delete or try not to delete any negative comments as long as they keep them clean. I think people should be able to say what they want, and you know, hopefully I can learn from them. But this guy just went off. Let's see here. Community, no. What comments? Where's the comment? Oh, dashboard. Sorry, here we go. Held for review. Where'd it go? It was just there. A mean post video. I don't get a whole lot of mean posts. I get a lot of people who just don't like the bear. I don't get it. They're just like, I hate the bear. All right, so this guy, he uses his first account, and it says, anyway, it's this garbage tools. Harbor Freight is garbage, just like you, garbage. And not funny. Get rid of it. Really dumb bear, bozos. If anyone gives you a cent. Next message is, you suck, garbage. Next message is, not funny, you suck. Next one is, what a bunch of garbage, you suck. Then we go to, do we need you to tell us about garbage tools? Harbor Freight is garbage, just like you, garbage. And not funny, get rid of the dumb bear. Be a member of the garbage. I don't think so, you suck. And want money for this. That ain't good. This is the worst blank I have seen. You suck. Take the bear. Get rid of it. Really dumb bear, bozos. If anyone gives you a cent, you scumbag. Take the bear and get out of here. And he keeps going. There's 12 more messages after that. And the punctuation and conjugation is very unique, shall we say. Oh, he calls me a big jerk off on the last one. All I gotta say is, why does he keep watching my videos? Anyway, Upstate New York. I love upstate New York. Again, in the summer. Joe, don't worry about it, you know. As I always say, the best way to support the channel is just like and share the videos. Don't tell me you're not a member. I said I would specifically not check. We're very strict about not checking membership. How to get the HFT catalog in the mail? Do they still? You know, they do mail. They don't do a whole catalog, but they do mailings. I was actually at West Marine for the first time, and they were famous for doing this huge catalog. It was an inch thick. And I asked them, you know, if they mail them out anymore. And they said, we stopped printing those like 4 years ago. I'm surprised anyone does print stuff anymore, to be honest. Sounds like he's got a thing for bears. Well, hey, you know, you're not really famous until you get your first stalker, right? Okay, I see Radial arm saw not worth the time. Is a like new DeWalt 7.0 chop saw for $150 a decent deal? I would check. I'm pretty sure the DeWalt 705, because I saw that and I was like, I could not believe there was a DeWalt chop saw for that much. And let me check, but there was one that is having a real problem with deflection, and everyone who bought it hates it. And let me make sure. Well, I think that was a sliding saw. If it's an actual straight up chop saw, it's probably not as big an issue. Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of. Although it's got quite a few negative reviews for what is. It's not bad though. Yeah, it's, you know, it's 3 out of 5 stars on Amazon, which isn't giving it a, you know, for it being big yellow, you'd think a lot more of it. And Amazon, for you guys who don't know, Amazon weights their things more positively. When you look at the reviews, and it's like how many stars it has. That's not an average. They use an algorithm based on how new the review is, and I think that they actually weight it towards the positive. So even if you had like one 5-star and one 1-star, it would not come out to be a 3-star. It'd probably come out to be like a 4-star if the 5-star was newer, because they're trying to sell products, and people with negative reviews don't sell a lot of products. They have, yeah, quite a few people saying, it's got a lot of flex, don't buy the saw. I might look for something better, honestly. At $150 for just a chop saw, not being a sliding saw, I think you could do better than that. All right, let me catch up with my chat messages here. Oh, also the reason I say the radial arm, I won't get it. Radial arm saw thing is a whole nother long discussion. I should do a video on radial arm saws. You're not checked twice when you came in. We're very stringent about that. What says here? What's the best height for a stand holding an 8-inch drill press? Getting started. Well, it really depends on how tall you are. The bear, I'm 6'2", and my stand is 48 inches high. But as I said, I do a lot of small work with it. Got my catalog. Yeah, the new catalog, everything must go. I look at that, I'm like, see, it must it go at these prices? I have the 10-inch Japan style saw in the flyer, the cut saw. I actually use that quite a bit. It's a flush cut saw. I like it. Honestly though, I don't see it being any better than the smaller, cheaper one. It just has slightly better reach. What would be your first project of turning an old shed into a workshop? Making sure that it had a good solid floor. Maybe pouring concrete. Is the inside track worth it? There are ways to get around it. You can still use those codes without having the inside track, but then you got to hunt them down. You got to look for them. I do find the inside track to be worth it. I just re-upped my membership, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Carlos 207, very nice. Thank you so much, Carlos. You rock. Another super chat, man. You guys have turned today, into a great day. I was so tired after the drive yesterday, and I was like, well, I told everyone I'd be there, but I was worried that I wouldn't be up for it. But you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. You really made my day. With the circular saw. Yeah, those little saws come in handy. For anybody who don't know, the Japanese style saw, unlike American style saws, only cuts in one direction, cuts on the pole. It allows you to be very precise because it doesn't jump around. They're very small, single hand, and used for cutting off flush bits or squaring off corners and such. They're cheap, and when you need one, you need one. Let's see here. A bear infestation problem. The bear is haunting him, running around. Let's see here. So you use it pretty regularly. Mostly seems to be true, better than employees. Yeah, not having. Yeah, I forgot about that part. I should remember that they do with the inside track. They do what do you call it? They track your purchases, and they send me emails and stuff. I don't know if they do that for regular stuff, but they always send me an email receipt for everything I buy. Of course, then they also pester me for would you like to leave a review for the item you just bought? Four-drawer tool cart. Any info on HF getting rid of it for the new 5-drawer? I wondered that too, because the dimensions on the 4-drawer are completely different than the 5-drawer, and they definitely have to be taking up the same space. I gotta tell you, I hate to be one of those people, but I really like that they come in the different colors. That blue one's pretty. Wait, hold on. Drill press recommendation for home gamer. I'm afraid about what you're going to do with the drill press. Are you going to be drilling your Xbox? I think the whatchamacallit, the Harbor Freight 8-inch drill press is just fine. And more than good enough for about anybody to use. The best 59 what was it? It was the best 59-cent carpentry pencil I've ever had to get a free magnetic bar. Boy, I could not believe they were doing the freebie on the magnetic bar. I must have gotten 4 of those things. Those things are great. I'm going to do some research to figure out what the best freebie items are that they've given out. I've always been a big fan of the magnetic dishes, for spare screws and stuff. And I try to put one next to each power tool for anything that I'm working on, whether it needs the chuck key or screws that I'm putting in or something. But that magnetic toolbar for free, that's just a no-brainer. So okay, all customers with an email get their receipts. Yeah, that blue one is sharp. Talking about again the 5-drawer tool cart. It's a nice color, and it looks well painted. I'll be honest. It's one thing I don't like about that style tool cart is I don't like the flip up top. I would rather it just had like the tray top. But that's just me. What project am I doing for Friday? All right, it's a stupid one, I admit, but I had to do it because I'd heard people talking about it. I actually picked up the Harbor Freight tumbler, you know, the 20-ounce tumbler they compare against the Yeti. We're going to be comparing a Harbor Freight tumbler versus the Yeti tumbler versus my wife had these ones she got at Bed Bath & Beyond versus a plastic sports drink cup versus a Taco Bell cup. And we're going to test them all for how long they keep something cold and how long they keep something hot. I can tell you this, the Taco Bell cup did not fare well in the hot water testing. It didn't fare well at all. Tony, that would be great if you could send me that, what the chat looks like. My email is red@red-beard.com. And guys, if you don't know, I read every single post in all the videos, and I try to answer every single email, but it takes me longer to get back to you on email, I admit. I'm much slower on responding to emails. Some dishes. You want Harbor Freight dishes? Oh, the magnetic dishes. Sorry. I was just talking about mugs and stuff, so my mind went there. Yeah, it does. You know, I've done that with like my detail precision screwdriver set. I've left them there to magnetize the end of those. I'm actually trying to figure out some project I can use with those magnetic bars. I'm thinking about building a box that I can use to just stick on the side of my my workbench cabinet. The screwdriver set. I would beg to disagree with you. I think that the scissors they give away for free are pretty crappy, but the screwdriver set is bad, I will admit. No project is stupid. Oh, don't challenge me like that. The bear could come up with some good ones. I don't know if I would say it melted. Wilted would be more appropriate. Radioactive paint dishes. New shed workshop. Good floor and definitely adequate power. And good lighting. Good lighting. That's the one thing I see a lot of guys, even in my shop right now. My last shop I had great lighting, and I've got to do something about getting better lighting in my new shop. Have you seen the new Braun lights? Yeah, you know, not only have I seen it, somebody sent me this one. It was a picture of an advertisement. So you know the new Braun light, the one that bends with the LED strip? They make a smaller one. I don't think it bends, but there's one that's about half that size. I've seen the coupon and the ad for it. They sent me a picture of it. I have not been able to find a single store that has it in stock yet. Any suggestions on shop lights? That is a good question, Dan. You know what I should do? I should do a video on those. I did have a video on making your own shop lights, but honestly, if you put in the amount of work it takes to go into making a shop light and you value your time, it's almost the same just to buy them. I should do a video comparing different shop light solutions. A magnetic French cleat system. That would be neat. I'll have to think about that one. The free microfiber towels. Yeah, they come apart pretty badly though, and I end up with stuff all over the place. The free tarps. We have stacks of the free tarps. Back before they changed it to free with purchase and it was just free, I always kept those coupons for the free tarps in my truck, and anytime I drove by a Harbor Freight, which is pretty much every day, I would stop, go in and just get a free tarp, and they have been so useful in so many different ways. Well, that's what I was talking about. What would be the best free Harbor Freight? Up until recently, I thought the the magnetic dish was the best. These bars are pretty awesome. But then the other thing is, I've really come to like that little multimeter. I used to think it was a piece of junk, but just because of the build quality. But if you figure it's free, they're practically disposable, and you can just throw them around all over the shop. I've got probably half a dozen of them. And I don't use them for precision testing. I just use them to see, like, hey, am I getting current? Yeah, I got current, so we're good. Average tool review. Hold on here. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's go over here. All right, I put your let me see here. All right, I found your channel. I'll take after this. I will watch them after this. Triple of A batteries. Oh, Skynet hasn't heard about my issue with the batteries. Christian Hanshaw, $5. Chris, man, you rock. $5. 16-year-old woodworker and actually been doing it. That's awesome. Do you have a channel up? You should have a channel. You know, if you're 16-year-old and you're making money doing woodworking, you should definitely be, showing other people the kind of work you're doing. But thank you so much. That means a lot to the bear. The LED light switches are decent too. They don't last for... Yeah, those LED light switches are bright. And they got, the magnets on the back are kind of pitiful, but it's not like they have to hold on to much. Jim, that's a great idea. He says he put the free HF multimeter in his cars. I didn't even think about that. I should definitely put one in each of the vehicles. Thanks. I'm looking to make the videos. Well, I'm sure just keep at it. And the one key on YouTube I say is just be consistent. Just keep putting out videos. Just keep posting them. Set the time aside to do it, and just keep doing it. You'll develop your own style, and you'll get into a rhythm, and you just got to keep doing it. 6-year-old building tiny houses on YouTube. That's cool. I need to check that out. I have a thing for the whole tiny house movement. I like the idea of it. I like the simplicity. Probably because the bears, I'm a sailor, and I like the idea of living on a sailboat. As we used to joke, if you live in a house on wheels, you're white trash. If you live in a house that floats, you're eclectic. Yeah. I always love that, that if I had a mobile home in San Francisco, people would, have the police arrest me. If I live on one of those floating barge house things, all of a sudden, I'm part of the eclectic culture of San Francisco. Not eating Tide Pods. That's not right. What are my thoughts on the Hammerhead 4-volt screwdriver and voltage indicator? I don't even know what that is. Hold on here. I have not used that and cannot speak on it. That's what my lawyer says. Yeah, it was bright. Were you looking right at it? I did the same thing. Jack Waddell. Christian shamed me. Yeah, come on, a 16-year-old, man. No, don't worry. The bear is not above guilt. No, man, you're awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you for the super chat tips. I can't believe how awesome you guys are. And, as I always say, this channel is as much yours as it is mine, and I'm just here to help you guys out. Just like, like Dreamin' said, he's like, hey, we want to see the Tractor Supply one. So that's what's coming up on Monday. If you guys say you want to see it, I will do everything I can to make it happen. Unless it's the bear running naked through something. I'm not doing that. I'm sure that's what that one guy with all those hate chat messages is just waiting to see. A review on impact wrenches. That's not a bad idea. I know. Are you talking about on the sockets or the wrenches themselves? Or are you talking about the pneumatic or the electric drivers? John Taylor has a very detailed... Okay, Michael says, John Taylor has a very detailed review of the Hercules miter saw on his channel. You know, Michael, I saw that, and I think I'm hesitant to agree with it. It felt more like a walk around, like I'd see, like looking at a car in the showroom at a dealership. I'm like, yeah, that's all stuff I can get off the box. It's just basically, here's the features, here's all these things. But he didn't really take anything into account. He didn't, you know, he ran and talked about how loud it was, and that was great, but it didn't feel like a review. It didn't like, hey, it didn't show me how, you know, how square it can cut something. There's a bunch of tests you can do with a saw like that to tell you whether it's running square and how good it cuts and stuff. And he didn't do any of that. It was all just basically, here's the tool, there's all the shiny bits. And at no point did he mention the cost, which is really the key indicator. I mean, it could be a great tool, but if you're asking the same price as the DeWalt, or at least close enough, not too many people are going to go, hey, you know, I'm going to choose that Harbor Freight over the DeWalt. David says he works at Harbor Freight and the best free item is the magnetic bar. Oh, my mouse is acting up on me now. His lawyer is the Bear Jew from Inglourious Bastards. Average review, $5, dude. You're awesome. Thank you so much. It's always nice to get, you know, a super chat from another channel. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. How would I rate the cordless brands from high to low? Well, I think that I honestly think Milwaukee probably has the best stuff that's out there. But, and I think DeWalt is right behind them. But as far as price, performance, and for the value, I think Rigid is just hands above everyone else as far as value, because you get a great tool at a respectable price with a lifetime warranty. Now, granted, you got to dot your T's and cross your T's and dot your I's and make sure you keep all your receipts and register the product and everything to qualify for it. But if you do it, that's, you know, that you just can't compare that, because it covers the batteries as well. And you know the batteries are going to run out. They're lithium batteries. It's what they do. As soon as your next underwear modeling gig comes through, I'll be donating. Do you get a lot of those? Oh, that's the problem. I couldn't figure out why my mouse kept acting up on me, and my cell phone sitting on the table right next to it, and it has a tendency to override the signal. I might switch back to a corded mouse. The electric impact. I could review those, but you know, a lot of people have already reviewed those things. The Cobalt 12-inch miter saw. Yeah, you know, that is... I honestly, I reached out to my contact over at Lowe's, because they sent me the Cobalt. They sent me those power tools, and I've tried to get them to send me the miter saw, but they're not doing it. I don't know why, but they I think they're waiting for new stuff to come out before they start sending more stuff out for review. Gonna be able to take the Cubs to Outback tonight. Oh, they love Outback. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Milwaukee and Makita. You know, Makita makes great stuff. They really do. There's nothing I can say negative about Makita, but the price on Makita is definitely putting it up there in the top value range. I'm not saying it's not good, but if I were doing it, if I were doing my job for a living, I would still go with the rigid just for the warranty. Because over the length of the power tools, the batteries aren't going to end up costing as much, if not more, than the tool itself. What time is it? It is 5:03. Oh, we're over the time limit. Any last minute stuff, guys, here? I wish they wouldn't have changed the cheese fries. Broke your heart. I didn't even know they had cheese fries at Outback. Bosch is another one. They have great tools. Can't say anything negative about them other than the price. Eat salmon at Outback. Yeah, this bear eats mahi-mahi. Oh, I love some Dorado. I'm not even going to repeat what you just said. Great point. You said you're from Iowa, right? I am from Iowa. Grew up in the Des Moines area mostly. You get cheese fryers layered, so it was cheese, bacon. Oh, those things. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, not. You know what? We had to cut back. We don't do appetizers anymore. We realized that when we do eat out, getting the appetizers basically once everyone you get an appetizer or two, and I order a drink or something, that's almost doubled the meal price. So the missus keeps the bear on a short leash these days. Whitewater University is getting demolished? Oh man, my mom's going to cry over that. To become apartments. Of course it is. Alright guys, the Bears got to run. I got to go pick up the Cubs. You guys have a great night, okay? They sell half order for short leases. Nice. Alright guys. You take care. As always, shine on. See, my mouse is acting up again. This stupid thing is going crazy. Alright guys. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Thanks again for all of the super chats. You're amazing. And I'll be sure to check back on Friday for the reveal on who won the best insulated mug contest. I guarantee you will be surprised by some of the results. Take care.